Okay, so today I want to try to figure out if we can solve the issue that I ran into yesterday or the day before, which is that the sign-in method stopped working, and I'm not really sure what or why it stopped working. So the first thing is going to be we have to just create or set up the thing so that someone can log into the app, which was working last video. In the beginning of the video, that was working, but then at some point with me trying to set up the phone number stuff, it just stopped working. And now I can't seem to sign in nor create a new account. Which I don't know what happened really. But then something that I'm interested in is I don't really know the difference between AWS Amplify versus the regular AWS server services or backend services that they have. But what I want to do is for this app, I think one way that we could do it is we could have AWS Amplify handle all the pretty basic or simple stuff, which is like logging in users and tracking all the users. But then we could use the AWS regular backend stuff as the rest of the app, where it's going to be a little bit more difficult, like storing user data, for instance, like photos and things. I think it's going to be better to store in the backend. I haven't really looked into this, so I don't know, but I think that's going to be the way to do it. So that's going to be a little bit of what I'm going to be doing today. Hopefully, I was struggling with this for like 4 hours trying to figure out how to get the login to work again yesterday. But hopefully, which is usually typically the case, it will be way faster doing it today, because for some reason when you come back to it the day after, usually it's very simple to solve it. So I'm crossing my fingers and hoping that it's going to be just an easy fix, which might not be the case, but we're going to try. Your AWS account was suspended because your account details couldn't be verified. And this means that I had to like upload a document of some kind to sort of prove my address. Like it seems to be very legit compared to, or very thorough, I guess, compared to when I've used Firebase in the past. Firebase seems to not, I've never had to like verify it in this sort of proper way that AWS seems to want me to do it. I'm not sure if, I mean, I'm actually sort of considering creating a new account. Let's try it again. Because I did upload it like 30 minutes ago and then went to have breakfast. So maybe, no. You're a blah blah blah. So this means that either I create a new account and redo all the setup, or I can just wait for this to resolve, which I don't know if it will do. Like, I don't know if I uploaded the right documents because this is based in the US and I'm not from the US, so some of the documents I don't quite understand because we don't have the same types of documents. So it's a bit difficult to understand it. But maybe, yeah, I don't know, actually. What I'm thinking that we could do is we could do this as a front end day instead and set up the next screen that should pop up after you've signed in, because then we can just skip all of this stuff and just not really need to look at this screen and just have it in the background and hope that this will resolve until tomorrow, because it said something about like 24-hour response time. Yeah. So I think this is going to have to be a front end day instead of a back end day, which was the idea. Okay, so now we have a blank screen. What I would like to do is I want to see if we can get a what do you call it? Like a waveform for audio. So I want to have a circle here in the middle that's going to have a waveform for audio, if that makes sense. So the app is going to include some sort of thing where you're going to see audio. So we want to be able to visualize that, and one way to do that is with audio wave design. So something like this is what I want to see on the screen. So I want to see if Flutter has something that can be used to show a waveform for audio. So let's see. Which one is it? Flutter development help. Can you a widget? Okay, let's just see what's this. So copy that, and then we'll do new. Okay, so the key here is to just not get frustrated when literally every device that you have to be restarted. You have to download things, you have to set things up over and over before you can actually work on anything. Like right now, I'm trying to get the allow microphone access for the app so that we can see a waveform or we can access the microphone, which apparently doesn't work for the simulator. So that means that we have to use a which means we have to use a physical device, and that then meant that I have to set up so that this new phone that I have has developer mode set to on, and once you've set that on, you have to restart the phone. So then I restart the phone, now we connect it, and hope that we can run this app now. Cannot be open because the developer cannot be verified. Cannot verify. This app is free. iPhone's deployment target is as a 9, but the range of supported deployment target is 12 to 18. my god. So now it says your development team has reached the maximum number of registered iPhone devices. Which means that we probably have to go somewhere to Apple, I guess, and unregister some devices, and then we can run it. Like, there's so many steps just to run the freaking app. All right, so I think now it works. I think, I'm not sure, but at least the provisioning profile things seem to be set up. It's so, like, it's incredibly difficult not to get frustrated with this stuff, because it's just like, I feel like I'm just writing some code, and whenever I try to run it, there's just like, oh well, if you want to run it, it doesn't work on the simulator, so you have to run it on an actual physical device. So I connect to the device, try to run it. Turns out, oh, I don't have developer mode on, so I set developer mode on, but that means you have to restart the device. So I restart the device, connect it, try to run it, get the errors of, oh, the provisioning profile isn't set up properly, or you don't have enough devices. So I go to apple.com, I renew my membership, and then I update the page, but the renewal hasn't taken effect yet, so nothing happens. And then I wait a little bit, I update the page again, nothing happens, and then all of a sudden after like 15 minutes, 20 minutes, I update the page and it's taken effect. So then I go to Xcode here and I tried to run it again, but apparently the certificate or whatever hadn't updated properly or fully, so it didn't work here. So then I just had to wait a little bit more, and now it works. But now the interesting thing is, will it work when I run it? Because I don't know, there's probably going to be another error that will pop up. Because the main error right now is I don't know if I'm even able to access the microphone, which is one of the main issue really right now. So let's try to run it again and see what happens. Oh yeah, we have deployment target issue as well, which could be an issue. All right, so we're still not, we still haven't solved it, but hopefully we're a little bit closer, at least. Xcode couldn't find any iOS app development provisioning profile matching, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so this might actually be a pretty simple fix, because right now, okay, find because as far as I can tell right now, this is the error. So the com.example.aws amplify is the provisioning profile, which isn't what we are actually using. I've changed it to be com.calholden and then .aws amplify. So if we copy that and we just need to find all the places, I guess, in the project where it says aws.example or com.example.aws amplify and change that to be the right one. And if we've done that, then at least that should work, I think. Still doesn't tell me if there's going to be any other errors, but we'll see. So we'll do
Hello.
all right, we got the app to run. We only have the black, whatever it is, on the phone. But at least we got it to run, which is the main thing for me. Because I've spent, what have I spent now? Like 2 hours just trying to get this to run. So that's a win. But now the question is, how do we grant access to the microphone? Because that seems to be the error that we're getting. Micstream.microphone, blah, blah, blah. It's basically just the exception that we don't have permission. So
Well, right.
Okay, so the issue right now is that we don't even like we get to the point where you can allow this app to access the microphone. It's just that there's no option here for the microphone. So there's options for everything else, or there's option for local network, Apple Intelligence Siri, search, and cellular data, but there's no permissions for microphones that we can enable or disable, which I don't know. All right, I don't know if you can see this, but it finally says AWS Amplify would like to access the microphone. We need access to your microphone to visualize audio. So press allow. And we'll see what happens. Now there isn't anything, so here, channel sent a message from native Flutter on a non-platform thread. Platform channel messages must be sent on the platform thread. Failure to do so may result in data loss.
Mic stream. Should be called from the background by calling it on the main thread. Let's see what happens against ChatGPT. Message.
Okay, so didn't get a whole lot done today. I thought I was gonna be able to really finish the sign-in thing, like get that all set up, but my account on Amazon or AWS is suspended, which I don't know why, really. I'm hoping maybe it will resolve by tomorrow. Otherwise, I'm probably gonna have to create a new account, is what I'm thinking, because I don't know. It seems like there's some sort of issue where I have to like identify myself in some sort of way, which may be easier if I just start a new account, because right now I'm suspended, so I can't connect to anything. And then we started working on the front end for the showing a waveform for audio, which was a real struggle. Like getting that to work was also just like too difficult and way too cumbersome. But I also think this is what it is. Like when you're programming, this is what you do. Like I have to remind myself to not get too frustrated, even though it can be extremely frustrating. Like going to a website to download a certificate that you need, and realizing that, okay, that website, in order to download that certificate, I need to create an account on that website. So I have to go to another website, create an account. Then I can go back to the website, download the certificate, but that website hasn't updated yet, so I can't download the certificate. And there's just so many hurdles to jump over. And it feels like it should just be like, write code, run it, test it, write code, run it, and test it. So today there's basically been almost no code writing at all. And now I think in order to monitor the audio levels, we need some sort of audio input, which could either be a recording, a pre-recorded recording, or it could be that we record audio using some sort of record button, or we use, what I want live audio levels. So I want to see a stream of whatever audio is being picked up by the microphone. I want to see that show up as a stream. So what we're going to do is, I think there's an AWS module or package or something called Chime SDK, which you can use to do phone calls between people, which is going to be a part of this app that I'm building. And maybe through that we can get information about volume, which we can then translate into a list that can be used by a plugin for Flutter, which is something like Flutter waveform plugin, something like that. And we can use that to display a waveform as people are talking to each other. But in order to be able to do that, I have to be able to sign into the AWS account, which I can't. So we're gonna have to wait until tomorrow and see if they approve the documents that I uploaded. And if not, then straight away tomorrow I'm just gonna create a new account, because there's just I just can't sit around and wait for them to approve it, or for them to fully suspend my account, which they will do today or tomorrow, I think, according to the message that I got. I did get an email, but there's no like links. There's nothing to click on. There's nothing to like, well, you can get to the link and upload the documents, but there's no support available unless you pay for support. So, yeah. Plus, I can't pay for the support because my account is suspended. So when I tried to pay for something, it was like, it just took me to the page where, oh, your account is suspended. So, as per usual, there's a lot of frustration with this. But I think it's always like this at the beginning of a project. You're always running into all these different things, just trying to set everything up so that you have your environments all working. And then once it's working, I think it's easier to keep it working once you've got it all set up. But then there's always the case of like they update a package and that ruins or breaks your entire code. So looking forward to that. But yeah, also I really appreciate everyone watching. Like I was surprised by how many people have been watching these videos, and it makes me quite happy, because these are the type of videos that I like to watch myself, and I feel like there aren't any videos. I haven't seen many videos like this in the coding space. Just keeping it very raw and unedited, which is something that I'm drawn to myself. So it gets me excited to see that people actually want to watch this. I'm really happy about that. But yeah, thank you for watching this video, and I hope I'll see you in the next one, which I hope will be tomorrow. All right, so I just got that email. This is like maybe 2 hours later, at least when I saw that email, and they've removed the temporary suspension. So that's great. That means that we should probably be able to do some things tomorrow. See you tomorrow.